Today is 6th of May 2025. I have been talking about practicing respectfully. Under this topic, yesterday I talked 3 points. They are behaving like blind, although you have eyes to see. Second, behaving like deaf, although you have good ears to hear. And third, behaving like ignorant, though you have lots of experiences and knowledges about the practice and the teachings of the Buddha, and behaving like a mute, although you can speak. So these 3 points I have already talked. So today, 4th point, the Pali is Balawa Dubbalo Riva, means although you are strong enough, have to behave like a weak. This is the 4th point. You have enough strength to move fastly, to do the actions quickly, though you have to behave like weak and have to do those activities slowly. That is what it's means to do slowly. All the activities must be done slowly. A strong man can perform the activities quickly, fastly, but a weak man perform his or her activities. A weak man perform his or her activities slowly. Or a man with normal height can do the activities quickly, fastly, but a man with bad health can't perform the activities slowly, can't perform quickly. So have to behave like weak and have to perform the activities slowly, especially when you do day-to-day activities from early morning until you go to the bed. Those activities must be done slowly, not just slowly, definitely mindfully, slowly and mindfully. Why do you need to do slowly? Because physicalities, mentalities, they arise and pass away in super fast manner. In super fast manner, they arise and pass away. You are practicing Vipassana meditation in order to develop Vipassana knowledge. By development of the Vipassana knowledge, to see the impermanence, suffering, and selflessness Or in another way, to develop the knowledge of impermanence, to develop the knowledge of sufferings, and to develop the knowledge of selflessness. So to develop the knowledge, you have to see the impermanence of physicalities and the mentalities. And that knowledge will be developed when you see the rapid appearance and the disappearance of physicalities and mentalities. And to see the rapid appearance and the disappearance of physicalities and mentalities, you need to do slowly. If you do fastly, quickly, you will not see in that way, means you will not be able to develop the knowledge of impermanence. And if you don't develop the knowledge of impermanence, then no knowledge of sufferings and no knowledge of selflessness. So to develop the knowledge of impermanence, we have to do slowly, especially when we are in meditation hall. Whatever action we do in meditation hall, whether we stand up, sit down, stretch, bend our hand, bowing down, or major activities to minor activities. Major activities are there, minor activities are there. Opening the eyes, closing the eyes, these are minor activities. Slight movements of the hands, slight movements of the body, slight movements of the head, these are minor activities. So to major activities to minor activities, yogis should try to do slowly, as weak, in order to develop the knowledge. Or right now we can say, in order to develop good mindfulness, good concentration. If you do slowly, gradually, then very much helpful to develop mindfulness and concentration. I would say not just slowly, but gently. Gentleness must be there when you perform your activities. When you perform your activities. Whenever time permits, when you have enough time to do, at that time you have to do slowly. In your room, you may not have enough time to do slowly because you have to get back to meditation hall in time. So that time may not be the good time to do too slowly. But still, you need to maintain the speed. Not too fast, not too slow. To be able to be mindful. Similarly, when you are in dining hall, especially when you are taking food in buffet, fellow yogis may be waiting for you. So that time may not be a good time to do slowly, because you can't make fellow yogis to wait longer. So there might be some moments when you can't do too slowly, but when time permits, when time permits, especially the meditation time, where when you are in meditation hall, when you spend the time in the meditation hall, those are the time you need to do slowly as possible, as slow as you can, as slow and as you can, because in this Vipassana meditation, there is the principle. The slower you do, the faster you progress. I repeat, the slower you do, the faster you progress. That's why all the activities need to be done slowly. And it is all about the practice. It is all about the practice. If you try again and again, even the minor activities, you become capable to do slowly. Even the opening, closing of the eyes, even the movements of the fingers, even the movements of the eyeballs, looking upward, up to down, down to up, even the minor activities, you will be able to do slowly. So this is the fourth point about practicing respectfully. And again, that means if you do slowly, then you are practicing respectfully. If not, then you are not practicing respectfully. And if you practice respectfully, you improve. If you don't, then it's hard to improve in meditation. So these are the main 4 points mentioned under the feature of practicing respectfully. And regarding this feature, regarding this factor, practicing respectfully, there is a discourse. There is a discourse named Janapada Kalyani Sutta. I repeat, Janapada Kalyani Sutta. So I will talk briefly about this discourse. In this discourse, Buddha addressed the bhikkhus as bhikkhus, and then Buddha said to bhikkhus, suppose on the hearing, the most beautiful girl of the land, the most beautiful girl of the land, a great crowd of people would assemble. Now the most beautiful girl of the land start dancing and singing. Again, on hearing that the most beautiful girl of the land is singing and dancing, even more people would assemble. Then a man come along wishing to live. There are 4 things mentioned here: wishing to live, not wishing to die; wishing to have happiness, not wishing to have suffering. So 4 things mentioned about that person, about that man. A man would come along who wish to live, who do not wish to die, wish to have happiness, not wish to have sufferings. Then someone would say him, okay, good man, you have to carry the bowl of oil filled to the brim, filled to the brim in between the crowd and the most beautiful girl of the land. Meanwhile, a man will follow right behind you with drawn sword, with drawn sword. And when you split even a drop of oil, right there he will fail your head. So after saying this, Buddha asked bhikkhus, what do you think? Would that mind will stop attending the bowl of oil and without of negligence will turn his attention outward? Because then the bhikkhus replied, no, blessed one. Of course, that man will not stop attending to the bowl of oil and would not turn the attention outward out of negligence. So in this discourse, Buddha compared the bowl of oil with the mindfulness of body, mindfulness, awareness of body. So that kind of mindfulness is needed. That kind of awareness is needed with utmost care and respect. So to show how much respect and care is needed while practicing meditation, in order to reveal that, Buddha have delivered this discourse. So that much care, that much respect is needed when you practice meditation. So in this discourse, of course, not only in this course, in other discourses also, you might heard like a Buddha generally addressed as bhikkhus, but it is not just referring for bhikkhus, it refers to all the practitioners, because commentaries mention whoever practices, whether man or woman or celestial. According to the teachings of Buddha, he or she is bhikkhu. So that's why it definitely Buddha is definitely addressing all the practitioner. So this is the example how much care and respect we need and practice in order to develop a good mindfulness, good concentration, and wisdom. And these are the main 4 points mentioned under this practicing respectfully. So still there are few things about practicing respectfully. When you practice meditation, you have to apply energy. You have to do hard working equally in sitting, in walking, in daily activities. Equally, you have to do hard working. At times, we do hard working in sitting, we do hard working in walking, but we fail to do that in daily activities. We fail to do in daily activities. If we fail to do so, again we are not practicing respectfully. So equally, we have to do hard working, sitting or walking or in day-to-day activities. In day-to-day activities. And again, we should not discriminate the object. At times we discriminate, oh, this is the obvious one, this is a less obvious one, or this is a small action, I don't need to pay much attention, I don't need to care much, nothing will happen by missing this small action or the object. No, all objects are equally important during the practice. We should not do discrimination. If we do discrimination, then again, that is not a respectful practice. We should not do discrimination. And not at times we do hard working when we would like to do, and at times we don't when we don't want to do. So that is also not good. That is also not a respectful practice. We have to have a great desire to work hard all the time, from early morning until we go to the bed. Early morning until we go to the bed, whether we are in room, whether we are in meditation hall, whether we are in dining hall, no matter where we are, even whether we are in washroom or in bathroom, we need utmost care and respect while practicing meditation. So in this way, if we practice with utmost care and respect, then it's really helpful to improve in our meditation. So this is the first feature to improve in meditation, or to develop good mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. Now I would talk the second feature. In order to improve in meditation, or in order to make our mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom stronger. The second feature needed is unbroken hard working is needed. Unbroken mindfulness is needed. Unbroken concentration is needed. Then later, unbroken wisdom is needed. Because every preceding energy is the great support for succeeding energy. Every preceding mindfulness is the great support for succeeding mindfulness. Every preceding concentration is great support for succeeding concentration. And every preceding wisdom is the great support for succeeding wisdom. So that unbroken hard working is needed. Unbroken means there should not be gap. There should not be interval in between two mindfulness, in between two concentration, in between two wisdom, even in between two energy. in between two energy, previous energy and succeeding energy. There should not be gap. They must be connected to each other. Like when we do sitting meditation, we observe rising. We apply energy. Then right after we observe falling. We apply energy. So if right after immediately we apply energy to observe falling, then first one is connected to second one. They are connected to each other. There is no gap. There is no interval. Again, right after another rising, falling take place. Again, we apply energy to observe second rising and falling. Again, the energy to observe first rising and falling is connected to second rising, second energy to observe rising, falling. Then to third one, then fourth one, fifth one. And this way, energy must be connected to each other. If mindfulness is present while observing rising, falling, then mindfulness must be connected to each other. If concentration is there, then concentration must be connected. And if wisdom is there, then wisdom must be connected to each other in order to improve in mindfulness. After a while, definitely mind wanders. And instantly, if we again apply energy to observe that mind, then again it's still connected. Still energy is connected. Only object has changed, not yet energy. Energy is still there. Mindfulness is still there. Concentration is still there. Object may be changed, but energy should be there. Like we do sitting meditation, then we do walking meditation. So objects definitely keep changing, but mindfulness must be connected, energy must be connected, concentration must be connected. That is why we say sitting meditation must be connected to walking meditation. That means the energy, the mindfulness, concentration, wisdom you develop in sitting must be connected with the energy, mindfulness, concentration, wisdom you develop in walking meditation. Again, the energy, mindfulness, concentration, wisdom you develop must be connected to the sitting. So they must be connected to each other. And how to connect? How to connect sitting to walking, walking to sitting, how we can connect those energy, mindfulness, concentration, wisdom. By being mindful in those activities that we do in between sitting and walking. That is that is the meaning. So when you finish, when sitting meditation, when time is up, when you are about to open your eyes, from that moment you need to observe the object. Intention, maybe intention to open your eyes. You may note as wanting to open, once, twice, thrice, that is sufficient to note. After noting the intention, then opening eyes. You need to do gradually. as we mentioned in first feature, have to do all activities slowly. Even opening the eyes should be done slowly. So open slowly. While opening eyes, note opening. Right after opening, we may see something, or we may be looking something and seeing something. If you look something, if you see something, may note as looking, seeing, looking, seeing. 2-3 times you may observe, you may note that. Then after, what you do? You may lift your hand from your leg. So you may note, if you want, you may note the intention mind. Wanting to lift, then lifting. While you do that action, better not to do 2 actions at a time. Means not moving both hands at the same time. Better right hand first, then left hand. Then after what? Moving the legs. Again, maybe right leg first, then left leg first. Observe one after another. You may be labeling as moving, or shifting, or maybe raising. So observe those movements. Then after what? If you are about to stand up, you may note as wanting to stand up. Then stand up slowly. Now you have to do slowly in order to perform respectfully. In order to perform respectfully, you have to do slowly. Stand up slowly. When body raise up, observe that. When body rise, observe that rising body. You may feel different sensations, heaviness, lightness, warmness, tension, tightness in your leg. So many sensations to know. If you really do pay attention, when you open your eyes, in that minor activities, you may see the sensation. When you open eyelids, at times you may feel heaviness. At times you may feel like easy to open. At times you may feel difficult. At times you may feel stickiness, many sensations. It is minor activities, but still, if your awareness is good, you may see the sensation in that minor activities. So observe while standing, not as standing. After standing, when you finish standing up, then stand up for a while. Don't make a turn immediately. Notice standing once, twice. You may, after that, you may adjust your clothes. Note, do slowly and note as it is. Now, time to turn around. You may note intention, or you may just note the action. If you note intention, wanting to turn. While turning slowly. After turning slowly, again standing. Then wanting to walk. Then after the first steps begins, you make a first step. So you have to step it mindfully. You have to observe that step. And that is the beginning of the walking meditation. So in this way, from the ending point of the sitting meditation until the beginning point of the walking meditation, Whatever you do, if you do all those activities mindfully, then sitting is well connected to walking. Then sitting is well connected to walking meditation. That is how we connect sitting and walking. Similarly, when you finish your walking meditation, then you have to do the same thing. When you walk to your sitting place, walk mindfully, because you haven't finished the walking meditation. You are still walking. Walking to your sitting cushion. When you get there, stand up for a while, note as standing, then wanting to sit, then sitting down slowly. Then again you have to perform slowly. Sitting down, then maybe kneeling down, then after making the posture, adjusting the posture, there are movements of the hands, movements of the legs. Absorb those activities one after another. When everything is done, now it is time to close your eyes. Not intending to close, then closing the eyes. Then right after, you directly pay attention to abdomen, where you observe rising, falling. Now sitting meditation starts. So in this way, you have to connect walking meditation to sitting meditation. This is how again you connect walking meditation with sitting meditation. So this is what mentioned about the unbroken mindfulness. Sitting is well connected to walking. Walking is well connected to sitting. And of course, if you go to washroom, if you drink water in between this sitting and walking, you have to perform mindfully. If you perform mindfully, then still connected. If you don't observe, if you are not mindful in those activities, then there is break. There is you miss the connection. You miss the connection. So in order to keep connecting, whether you go to washroom, whether you go for drinking water, do mindfully, slowly and mindfully. So this is how we keep connecting. If you go to dining hall, at dining hall as well, you have to do mindfully. I haven't talked yet about how to eat mindfully. So to eat mindfully, when you are about to eat, at first you look at your food, you may note as looking, seeing, once, twice. Then you may note wanting to eat, again once or twice. You don't need to make many labelings, just one labeling, two labeling, or one noting, two noting is enough, because we don't have enough time. So note wanting to eat. Then when you start to move your hand, then note, observe the movements of the hand. If you scoop, then note as scooping. If you lift your hand, note as lifting. If you put into the mouth, then note as putting. After putting into the mouth, first you have to drop your hand. That is what mostly we miss. Right after we start to chew, and then we drop. So two actions. So we can't observe. You can't observe the two actions at a time. So better first drop your hand, dropping, then start to chew. In each bite, have to note as chewing, chewing. And again, while chewing, you have to make sure that you are not moving your hand. If you keep moving, again, two actions. Chewing and moving the hand. You will miss one if you do two actions at same time. While chewing, better just chewing. Observe chewing. While chewing, there are so many things to know, so many things to observe. Different flavors. Different flavors you may notice. You may notice the changing of the flavors. Later you may notice the mind arising due to flavor, wanting to eat, not wanting to eat, wanting to have more, not wanting to have more, even at times wanting to continue, not wanting to continue, or at times even because of delicious food and good taste, greed, and because of not delicious food, anger arising, you will know connection between the flavor and the mind. Many things to know. So you will know how the sense object cause the greed to arise, the anger to arise, and later you will be able to prevent not to arise greed and anger due to flavor when your mindfulness gets strong. So no more anger, no more greed regarding the food as you keep practicing. So there are many things to know while eating, and when you swallow, not swallowing, you may feel food going through the throat. At times you may feel it is falling down. You may feel in chest also, or coming down to abdomen. So many things to know. So this is how we can observe while eating as well. And if you really do good observation, you can develop good concentration, good mindfulness, good concentration during eating. So you may try. You may try that one in order to practice respectfully and to practice continuously, to keep our mindfulness unbroken. And it is necessary to keep our mindfulness unbroken and continuous, since kilesas, defilements, are always loitering, always seeking the chance to get rooms in your mind stream. As soon as you miss the object, as soon as you remain as soon as you remain heedlessness, then the kilesa or defilements arise immediately. When there is gap, when there is interval, like when you pave the marble on floor, two marbles should be well connected. If there is gap between the two marbles, it would be the good place for insect to stay. And when it becomes the accommodation for insects or for dust even, that marble will not be durable. So similarly, if there is gap, interval in between the two mindfulness, In between the previous and the another mindfulness, succeeding mindfulness, then kilesas, defilements tend to take place at that moment. So we don't want to give rooms for the kilesas. You are trying your best to purify your mind. To purify your mind. That's why unbroken mindfulness is needed. Unbroken concentration is needed. Unbroken hard working is needed. In previous stages, when before the invention of matches, people had to strike or rob two sticks, two wood or rocks together in order to start fire. And they had to strike or rub continuously until the fire starts. Until the fire starts. Just imagine if they rub for a while and they stop, they strike for a while and stop. So would it be possible to start a fire? Of course not. Similarly, there should not be gap. It is about the continuous practice, like continuous striking until the fire starts. So again, that is why continuity is needed. Unbroken continuity is needed. Then it is really helpful to develop mindfulness. If mindfulness has not developed, to develop mindfulness. If concentration has not developed, to develop concentration. If wisdom has not developed, to develop wisdom. And if they have already, then to make them stronger, to make mindfulness stronger, to make concentration stronger, to make wisdom stronger again. There should not be gap between the two, mindfulness to concentration to wisdom. And I have already mentioned in sitting, like when you observe rising, you need hard working when you observe rising, then right after to observe falling. Then again next rising, next falling, next rising, next falling. In this way continuously. If thinking thoughts arise, immediately you have to observe. If sensations in different parts of the body arise, then observe immediately. When they become obvious, of course. If they are not obvious, you can keep observing rising and falling. When they become obvious, observe right after. And in walking also, if you do right, left, while observing right step, the energy is there. That energy must be connected when you observe the energy with uh, that which you observe, with which you observe left step, then again right step, left step, to develop mindfulness. If mindfulness is there, then the mindfulness and right step must be connected to left step. Then again right, then again left. So they must be connected. If you do lifting, dropping, similarly, mindfulness of lifting to mindfulness of dropping. Then again, mindfulness to lifting to mindfulness to dropping. If you do lifting, moving and dropping, then mindfulness of lifting to mindfulness to moving, mindfulness to dropping. they have to connect each other. And this unbroken mindfulness and practicing respectfully are the two main features, two main factors or features in order to improve in our meditation. These two are the main features or the factors mentioned in the text. Of course, there are 9 features or the factors mentioned, but these two are the main. If you apply into the practice these two factors or the features, you keep progressing every day. You keep improving every day. But you might have question, although you try your best, still keep missing. Of course, at the beginning, no matter how much you try, you keep missing. You keep forgetting in daily activities, not only in daily activities, even in sitting, even in walking. Mostly we miss to observe, we forget in daily activities. So what you need is, first you need a great desire. Great desire, great determination is needed. If you have great desire and equally great determination, then slowly you become able to do mindfully all those activities. So have a great desire first. Desire to do mindfully all those activities from early morning. You may remind yourself when you are about to go to sleep, okay, tomorrow I will be mindful as soon as I get up, as soon as I wake up. So then tomorrow when you wake up, again remind, okay, I have to be mindful from this moment throughout the day until I go to bed. I will try my best. So desire also and determination also. Still you might forget, keep reminding, keep filling the gaps. I would say keep filling the gaps. If you forget to observe while you are drinking water, then next time you have to be more careful. You may remind yourself, okay, last time I forgot, this time I should not. I should be very careful to not to forget. If you remind in that way, then of course it becomes easier to be mindful. So keep reminding in that way. And the more you pay attention, you may even see more gaps that you haven't recognized before. The gaps or the actions you are missing to observe, missing to be mindful. Again, when you notice, when you recognize those actions or the objects that you are missing to observe, so next time again remind yourself, okay, there is the action, there is the object. I am missing to observe. So remind that, then next time you again observe, try your best. Be extra mindful. Be extra mindful to observe that action that you are missing. You definitely need extra energy, extra mindfulness, which you are missing to observe. Keep reminding, keep reminding. So desire is needed. Great desire is needed to observe continuously, to not to miss even a single object, and determination. You may determine, you may make determination before that action. Okay, now you are about to do that action which you are missing. Then do slowly, do mindfully. Do with utmost care, do with respect, and continuously. Again, I would say that if you keep doing continuously, it is easy to observe. It is easy to observe. You hardly miss the object. If you keep skipping the actions, then it's really hard to be mindful. If you keep skipping the actions or the objects, if there are gaps, then even more difficult. So don't escape the objects, don't escape the actions. Observe continuously, and try to do in order as well. In order means, as I just mentioned, after sitting, you first note the intention mind, then wanting to open the eyes. After opening the eyes, then you note looking, seeing. Then after, right hand, left hand, then right leg, left leg. This is your order of the objects, sequence of the objects, or the series of the objects to observe. Don't change that sequence or the order. Like after noting, looking, seeing, you are used to observe right hand first, then left hand. Don't change that order. You are used to move hand first, not legs. So don't change that order. If you keep in order, it's easy to remember. Like when we count 1, 2, 3, 4, it's easy to count. Without thinking, we can count. Mind knows automatically. But if you have to count some indifferent way, like 1, 3, 5, then you have to think, because you are not used to for that. Mind has not recorded in that way. So keep in order your actions. Similarly, in your room, when you wake up, what is the first object you observe? Then what is the second action or the object? Then third, then fourth. So keep that order. Similarly, when you go to washroom or when you drink water, because you do the same action repeatedly. You have nothing special or nothing new action to do in this retreat or in this meditation center. Every day you do the same action repeatedly. So you can make an order of those activities. If you keep that order, again, it is easy to observe continuously. It is, you will hardly miss, because mind also knows what after what to observe. So that is how we can practice in order to not to miss, in order to make our mindfulness unbroken. So these are the two factors, as I just mentioned, in order to improve in our meditation. So may you all be able to apply these two features, practicing respectfully and practicing continuously. By application of these two factors or the features, may you be able to develop the mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom which haven't developed yet, and may you be able to sharpen those mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom which have already arisen.